country at war, yet feeding over 400 million people worldwide. That country is Ukraine. More than 3 decades after breaking away from the Soviet orbit, Ukraine has leveraged nearly a quarter of the world's richest black soil reserves to transform its outdated, centrally planned agriculture into a large-scale industrial production system worth tens of billions of dollars each year. But how can a nation on the front lines of conflict continue to sustain this massive flow of food, especially to regions like the Middle East, North Africa, and Europe, which depend heavily on these supplies for their food security? Right now, let's dive with agriculture insight into this vast agricultural system, where Ukraine is not just an exporter, but a strategic player reshaping the global grain trade, competing directly with Russia and the United States. Everything will be revealed in this video. Spanning an area comparable to Texas, Ukraine's agriculture does not rely on small, family-run farms. Instead, the entire system is organized as a network of agro-holdings, where land, machinery, and data are managed like a large-scale industrial production line. This model is rooted in the convergence of flat terrain and a continental steppe climate. Ukraine's hot, dry summers create ideal conditions for crops to naturally reach low moisture levels right in the field, a factor that can be harsh for many plants, but is perfect for grain production. Across vast fields stretching for tens of kilometers without interruption, high-capacity combine harvesters, reaching up to 600 horsepower, operate continuously like a massive mechanical assembly line. With cutting headers over 12 meters wide, these machines process dozens of crop rows in a single pass, handling thousands of tons of grain per day. Meanwhile, trucks move alongside them, collecting grain in real time without interrupting operations. To sustain this level of efficiency, the entire system is monitored through sensors and real-time yield mapping, allowing instant adjustments across different field zones and keeping losses below 1%. As a result, Ukraine produces around 20 to 25 million tons of wheat each year, maintaining its role as one of the most important breadbaskets for Europe and the Middle East. At the same time, corn, a crop capable of generating nearly twice the biomass, reaches output levels of over 30 million tons, becoming a strategic feed source for the global livestock industry. This is especially critical for China, which at one point relied on Ukraine for more than 80% of its imported corn to sustain its massive pork sector. However, the true strength of this system lies not only in production, but in its ability to control post-harvest flows. All grain is funneled into a vast network of silos, with a total capacity exceeding 55 million tons, functioning as a stabilizing buffer for the global food market. Thanks to this, Ukraine is not forced to sell immediately after harvest. Instead, it can store grain for 12 to 18 months and release supply precisely when market demand peaks. A critical advantage that allows the country not only to produce food, but also to directly influence global prices and supply dynamics. While in the United States, grain, despite being produced at massive scale, is often treated as a base input for downstream industries. In Ukraine, this flow becomes the lifeblood of a billion-dollar sector: poultry farming. With an annual output of over 1.4 million tons of chicken meat, this Eastern European nation has emerged as a key protein supplier to the EU. Despite being nearly 15 times smaller than the US, Ukraine has secured its position as the world's 6th largest poultry exporter. The process begins with designing a precise feeding program tailored to each stage of a chicken's growth. Leveraging its status as the world's leading sunflower oil producer, Ukrainian farms incorporate high-protein sunflower meal and pure vegetable oil into feed formulations. This combination contributes to the chicken's naturally mild sweetness, golden skin, and deep-colored egg yolks, thanks to the high concentration of unsaturated fatty acids. Through optimized feed and fast-growing hybrid breeds, chickens reach their ideal market weight in just 38 to 42 days, with an exceptionally low feed conversion ratio, a level of efficiency that even many industrial farms in Iowa or Arkansas struggle to match. Notably, nearly every environmental variable, from temperature to airflow, is controlled by centralized computer systems. This automation eliminates up to 95% of human intervention, ensuring maximum biosecurity and consistent production at scale. In the egg production cycle, hens begin laying at around day 140, starting with smaller eggs that gradually increase to premium grades. Each hen can lay up to 1 egg per day, averaging 5 to 6 days per week. At this stage, nutrition must be precisely balanced in terms of energy, protein, and calcium to sustain output and ensure strong shell quality, including grains, oilseed meals, trace minerals, and vitamins. At large-scale farms with up to 1 million industrial hens, daily output can reach 800,000 eggs. In advanced farms, eggs are automatically collected via continuous conveyor systems, moving directly into centralized processing units. Farmers no longer need manual collection, saving up to 70 to 80% in labor costs, while also reducing breakage and cross-contamination. Millions of eggs are gathered daily at grading and packaging facilities. Here, they are sorted by size and quality, then pass along conveyor belts through infrared sensors that detect even the smallest cracks invisible to the naked eye before packaging. Once quality is ensured, eggs are grouped into batches of 6 to 30 units, labeled with digital traceability codes, and then distributed to consumers. So, have you ever wondered why eggs come in different colors? Time's up. The answer lies in genetics. Shell color is determined by pigments produced in the hen's body during egg formation, not by diet. Nutritional value across different shell colors is nearly identical. Beyond eggs, the true industrial power lies in highly automated processing lines operating at speeds of up to 15,000 birds per hour on a single system. After cleaning, carcasses are treated using air-chilled technology instead of traditional ice water immersion. This dry cooling method passes the chicken through tunnels of cold air at -1 to 2 degrees Celsius, a process widely preferred in the EU. It helps preserve protein structure, prevents cross-contamination, and avoids the water absorption typical of conventional chilling methods. Following this, AI-driven systems sort, portion, and package the products for distribution to premium consumer markets worldwide. At this stage, each batch of chicken is assigned a digital identity passport, allowing consumers anywhere in the world to simply scan a QR code and trace exactly which grain batch was used, and even which field in Ukraine the feed originated from. Can you imagine if Ukraine stopped crushing sunflower seeds? 1 out of every 2 bottles of sunflower oil on global supermarket shelves would disappear? With a cultivated area of up to 7 million hectares, equivalent to covering the entire territory of Ireland, Ukraine holds a dominant position, controlling nearly 50% of global export market share. While Russia may compete in raw seed production, Ukraine goes further, transforming these dry seeds into the most widely consumed vegetable oil in Europe, generating over $5 billion in export value each year. When September arrives, vast sunflower fields transform into a non-stop industrial operation. High-capacity combine harvesters run through the night at full speed, moving millions of tons of seeds into storage before early seasonal rains can degrade oil quality. Unlike grain crops, the key difference lies in the specialized sunflower header, equipped with lifting snouts up to 1.5 meters long. Instead of cutting low and consuming the entire plant like wheat or corn, This system gently lifts and isolates only the dried flower heads, minimizing wind disturbance and preventing seed loss. Immediately afterward, the flow of seeds is transferred to trucks moving alongside via a continuous unloading system, allowing the harvester to operate without stopping and maintain maximum efficiency across the field. With a record oil content of 42 to 45%, each harvest here yields around 20% more oil per unit area compared to competitors in North America or Southern Europe. Immediately after harvest, all seeds are transported to crushing plants within 24 hours to prevent natural oxidation and maintain the lowest possible acid levels. The production process operates as a 100% zero-waste circular system. Seed husks are separated and compressed into biomass pellets, which are then burned in boilers to generate heat and electricity for the entire facility. Following mechanical cold pressing to preserve nutrients, the crude oil is further refined through a multi-stage filtration system, removing impurities without the use of chemical solvents. The result is high oleic sunflower oil, with a smoke point of up to 230 degrees Celsius, demonstrating exceptional heat stability, allowing it to withstand high-temperature cooking without breaking down or releasing harmful compounds. In the U.S. market, Ukrainian sunflower oil often maintains more stable pricing than premium canola or soybean oil, while still competing in the high-end food segment thanks to its purity. While nearly 90% of cooking oil in the U.S. is derived from genetically modified crops, Ukrainian oil stands apart with a 100% non-GMO standard, a key factor enabling it to meet increasingly strict food safety regulations in Europe and other premium markets. Leaving behind the vibrant sunflower fields, we move to a different kind of white gold hidden beneath the soil. Sugar beets, a strategic crop that has turned Ukraine into the largest sugar producer in Eastern Europe, with annual output reaching 13 million tons, directly competing with leading regions in France and Germany. Concentrated in the central and western sugar belt, such as Vinnytsia and Poltava, the production cycle runs from September to November, when the first frosts begin to appear. Slight drops in nighttime temperatures trigger the plant's biological response, accelerating the conversion of carbohydrates into sucrose, which is then stored directly in the root, increasing sugar content just before harvest. In the fields, massive six-wheel self-propelled harvesters operate like mobile mechanical assembly lines. The front unit removes all green foliage, while a system of digging blades penetrates up to 30 centimeters into the soil, gently lifting the beets without damaging their structure. Immediately, the roots pass through vibrating conveyors to remove soil and debris before being transferred directly into storage tanks, all in a single continuous pass, with capacities reaching up to 60 tons per hour. Unlike grains, which are often exported in raw form, Ukraine's sugar beets are 100% processed domestically before distribution. At the plant, the beets are sliced into thin strips known as cassettes, similar in shape to French fries, to maximize surface area. They are then fed into high-temperature diffusion towers, where natural sugars are extracted using hot water at around 70 degrees Celsius, separating sucrose from the plant tissue. This process produces a highly purified liquid sugar solution with sucrose content reaching up to 99.8%. Thanks to its non-GMO nature, Ukrainian beet sugar is considered a premium raw material, meeting the strict standards of the confectionery industries in both the EU and the Middle East. Closely tied to the sunflower industry, few people realize that Ukraine is the world's second largest honey exporter, ranking just behind China. With around 4 million bee colonies spread across its vast steppes, the country is not just producing honey, it is operating one of the largest pollination systems on the planet. When sunflowers begin to bloom, thousands of beehives are transported directly into the fields, a highly strategic move. Beyond producing honey, these bee colonies can increase seed yields by up to 20 to 30%, turning each field into a self-contained ecosystem where oil and honey are generated simultaneously within the same biological cycle. At the microscopic level, this mechanism is almost programmed in its precision. A single sunflower is actually composed of thousands of individual florets, each opening for only a brief window of time. Within that narrow window, bees act as biological engineers, transferring pollen from one floret to another with near-perfect accuracy. Each successful contact effectively results in the formation of a fully developed seed, forming the foundation of a multi-billion-dollar sunflower oil industry. Once the honeycombs are fully filled and sealed with wax caps, beekeepers use smoke to calm the colony, carefully remove each frame, and transfer them into centrifugal extractors to spin out the honey. From this point onward, every batch is assigned a digital passport, enabling full traceability from the field of origin to the health status of the bee colonies. This level of transparency is essential for entering demanding markets such as the US and Germany. While the US market continues to struggle with issues like adulterated honey, antibiotic contamination, and fraudulent labeling, Ukraine has built a system in the opposite direction. Each batch is digitally tracked, allowing verification of the entire chain, from flower source and hive conditions to harvesting and processing methods. This combination of traditional, old-world beekeeping practices and modern control systems results in a product with highly distinctive characteristics. Sunflower honey crystallizes within just 3 to 4 weeks, forming a smooth, butter-like texture, a sign of high glucose content and exceptional purity. Compared to multifloral honey, it is typically more affordable, yet more stable, with less seasonal fluctuation, making it especially suitable for the rapidly growing clean label product segment in the US. Providing livelihoods for more than 1/3 of the workforce, agriculture, a sector supported by subsidized energy and government guarantees to purchase farm outputs, has long been one of the industries least directly affected by the sanctions imposed on Iran. However, as geopolitical tensions escalate, the country's agricultural sector quickly shifts into food security mode. The government is forced to temporarily halt exports of several agricultural products in order to prioritize domestic supply. At the same time, the risk of disruptions to grain imports through the Strait of Hormuz, the route on which most of Iran's imported food depends, has pushed domestic food prices sharply higher, with rice prices nearly doubling within just a few weeks. So before being shaken by the current turmoil, how did Iran manage its agricultural system to achieve food self-sufficiency for more than 90 million people? From the 3 tiny red stigmas hidden deep inside each purple flower, Iranians have created the world's most expensive spice, saffron. With prices typically ranging from several thousand to nearly $10,000 per kilogram, higher even than vanilla, Iran now controls nearly 90% of the global saffron supply. The heart of this industry lies in Khorasan-Razavi province, in northeastern Iran, a semi-arid plateau where scorching dry summers meet cold winters and extremely low rainfall. Yet it is precisely this harsh environment that provides ideal conditions for saffron, a delicate crop grown from bulbs buried deep beneath the soil, highly sensitive to excess water, and blooming for only a few brief weeks in autumn. The saffron harvest lasts only about 6 weeks each year. During this brief window, farmers begin their work at dawn and finish before noon, when the intense sunlight causes the flowers to wilt quickly and the precious flavor compounds inside begin to deteriorate. All saffron is harvested entirely by hand. Each flower is carefully plucked from its stem and placed into breathable baskets rather than sealed bags, because even slight compression or heat buildup can almost immediately reduce its quality. Despite generating enormous export value, the workforce behind this delicate process, mostly women in Iran's rural communities, often earns no more than $5 a day for work that demands near absolute patience and precision. After harvesting, the delicate purple flowers are quickly transported to processing facilities to prevent bruising. There, the flowers are spread out in dry, well-ventilated spaces away from direct sunlight to preserve their quality before the most critical stage begins: stigma separation. Each flower is opened by hand, revealing 3 deep red stigmas, the only part kept for saffron production. This seemingly simple task is extremely labor-intensive. A skilled worker can separate about 600 stigmas per hour, meaning it takes roughly 40 hours of meticulous labor to produce just 1 kilogram of high-quality saffron. To create that amount, around 150,000 flowers must be harvested, a staggering raw material ratio that has earned saffron the nickname red gold. The red stigmas are then gently dried at low temperatures, reducing their moisture by up to 80% while preserving their color and distinctive aroma. After drying, the saffron shrinks into thin, dark red threads, delicate as silk, the final product that is packaged and exported to global markets. Beyond its labor-intensive production and extremely limited supply, saffron is also sought after in global cuisine and traditional medicine for benefits such as improving mood, providing powerful antioxidants for heart health, and supporting better sleep. It is often used to give a golden color and distinctive aroma to premium rice dishes, desserts, and drinks. When tasted, saffron has a slightly bitter note but leaves a warm, subtly sweet fragrance. After saffron, Iran possesses another strategic agricultural weapon worth more than $1.5 billion each year: pistachios, the biggest rival to California almonds on the global market. The star of this industry is the Akbari variety, an exceptionally long pistachio with a distinctive pink-purple shell, widely grown in Kerman province. Even on harsh saline soils, pistachio trees thrive thanks to their strong drought tolerance. However, the crop follows an alternate bearing cycle. After a heavy harvest one year, yields naturally decline the next as the trees recover, creating an unpredictable supply rhythm for global markets. The story of Iranian pistachio quality begins with the meticulous art of hand harvesting in late summer. Instead of relying on large-scale industrial shaking machines like those commonly used in the United States, Iranian farmers continue to favor traditional methods, hand-picking the nuts or gently striking the branches with wooden sticks to protect the trees for the next season. Large sheets are carefully spread beneath the trees to catch the falling nuts, ensuring they never touch the ground. This helps keep the inner shells clean and white while preventing the kernels from contamination or damage. A skilled worker can harvest 40 to 50 kilograms of pistachios per day, and during peak season, tens of thousands of laborers converge on the pistachio orchards of Kerman province. Once the pistachios leave the orchards, they must be transported to processing facilities on the very same day to begin post-harvest treatment. While harvesting remains deeply traditional, Iran's processing stage represents a technological leap forward. Inside the factories, each batch is dehulled, cleaned, and sent through rigorous sorting lines equipped with optical sensors. For premium varieties such as Akbari, workers still perform additional manual inspections to ensure perfect uniformity before the nuts are packaged for export. Ironically, the harsh desert soils play a crucial role in the flavor of Iranian pistachios. The stressful growing conditions concentrate natural oils within the kernels, allowing them to withstand roasting temperatures above 180 degrees while retaining their rich taste and distinctive aroma. This unique quality has made Iranian pistachios highly prized among confectionery and gourmet food producers, even though the United States now produces nearly twice as many pistachios overall. If saffron and pistachios symbolize Iran's plains and deserts, then honey, the treasure of its towering mountain ranges, has evolved beyond a simple nourishing food to become a luxury functional product, even used as a natural substitute for antibiotics in traditional Persian medicine. With an annual output of around 80,000 tons, Iran is now the third largest honey producer in the world. Yet what truly surprises gourmet food enthusiasts in the United States is not the volume, but the near-perfect purity of the organic honey harvested from Iran's remote highlands. The biggest difference lies in Iran's nomadic beekeeping tradition. Unlike industrial apiaries in the United States, where bees often remain in fixed locations and may be supplemented with sugar feed to maintain yields, Iranian beekeepers undertake seasonal migrations across the Zagros and Alborz mountain ranges. They move thousands of hives throughout the year, following waves of blooming flowers, from wild grasses on open steppes to rare medicinal herbs growing along high mountain slopes. About a month after the bees complete their nectar-gathering cycle during the flowering season, the honey harvest finally begins, and it still follows traditional methods designed to preserve maximum nutrients. Instead of heating the honey for faster packaging, a process that destroys delicate enzymes and vitamins, Iranian honey is extracted using cold centrifugal spinning at room temperature. This technique preserves the full characteristics of raw honey, retaining pollen and natural antioxidant compounds. One of the most prized varieties is cedar honey, produced from the blossoms of the wild cedar tree, and often referred to as the Manuka of the Middle East, because of its strong antibacterial properties. While Western markets are increasingly seeking organic products, Iranian honey has long met this standard naturally, as bees in these remote regions rarely come into contact with pesticides or chemical agriculture. For premium batches of cedar honey, international prices can range from $80 to over $200 per kilogram, making it one of the most valuable honey varieties in the Middle East. From the high mountains, we descend to the lush southern oases, where Iran cultivates one of the desert's most important crops, the date palm. With an annual production of more than 1 million tons, Iran is now the largest rival to Egypt in the global supply race, accounting for roughly 15% of the world's date production. From August to October each year, the harvest becomes a true test of patience and precision. Because dates do not ripen uniformly on the same cluster, workers must climb trees that can reach tens of meters high multiple times, picking only the fruits that have reached perfect ripeness. This careful method preserves the delicate skin of the fruit at the moment when it is at its most juicy and flavorful. Under favorable conditions, a skilled worker can harvest around 100 to 150 kilograms of fresh dates per day. Yet the job is far from easy. Each year, dozens of accidents are reported, from falls while climbing the tall palms to heat exhaustion under desert temperatures that can reach 45 degrees. After the harvesting process is completed, all dates are transported to processing and packaging facilities. There, modern processing lines quickly clean, sort, and inspect the fruits for quality. The dates are washed, lightly dried, and then graded by size and ripeness before being packaged. Thanks to advanced machinery and strict quality control systems, the final products meet high hygiene standards, maintain their freshness, and are ready to be exported to markets around the world. Without the lush green pastures of the Netherlands or the vast ranching systems of Australia, Iran still ranks among the top 4 countries in the world with the largest sheep population. Despite its harsh terrain, the livestock sector here operates largely through ancient nomadic herding traditions, with more than 50 million sheep supplying the essential raw material for the multi-billion-dollar Persian carpet industry. On Rocky Mountain slopes, Iran's nomadic sheep live alongside their herders in temporary camps at elevations of up to 3,000 meters. To sustain the flocks in such water-scarce environments, herders build simple trough systems that channel water from small mountain springs, ensuring the animals maintain stable digestion and rumination. Each year around May, when the plains begin to scorch under intense heat, the flocks migrate upward into the mountains in search of cooler climates. On barren slopes where grass is scarce, they survive by feeding on drought-resistant plants such as thorny shrubs, wild herbs, and sparse dry grasses growing between rocks, while relying on the few underground water seepages scattered across the rugged terrain. It is precisely this diet, rich in essential oils from wild mountain plants, combined with constant movement across steep slopes, that produces a distinctly different kind of lamb. The meat is leaner, firmer, and far more flavorful than lamb raised on industrial grain feed. Beyond meat, sheep milk in Iran is still hand-milked directly at mountain camps. With its exceptionally high levels of protein and fat, this milk forms the foundation of the famous Legvan cheese, a long-standing delicacy prized across the Middle East. The use of sheep does not stop at food. Wool harvesting here remains entirely manual. Instead of electric clippers, which are faster but can damage the natural structure of the fibers, nomadic herders use large hand-forged steel shears to control the precise length of each fleece. From this wool comes the ultra-fine Kirk fiber, the essential material behind Persian carpets that can sell for tens of thousands of dollars in luxury markets such as New York and California. Today, sheep have effectively become a form of mobile bank for many rural households in Iran. Within just a few years, the value of a single sheep has increased 2 to 3 times, turning livestock into a crucial financial buffer against natural disasters, inflation, and the unpredictable economic pressures the country now faces. In the United States, apartment buildings are designed for people to live in. In China, entire 26-story buildings are constructed solely to raise pigs, operating as fully enclosed, AI-driven systems, where each pig rides its own elevator and generates over USD 100 million in annual revenue. Inside these extraordinary pig apartments, each floor functions as a self-contained world. Breeding floors, nursery floors, and fattening floors, all organized like a massive biological machine running 24/7. The entire process is controlled by AI technology. Every pig is fitted with sensors that monitor health conditions, feed intake, growth rates, and even heart rate. Each pen acts as an individual monitoring station, equipped with touchscreens displaying real-time data for every animal. From a smartphone or tablet, managers can oversee entire herds, tens of thousands of pigs, with just a few taps. Beyond livestock engineers, the system also includes dedicated floors for scientific research. Here, pig farming is no longer manual labor, but a precision industry, where each animal is managed like a device with its own digital profile, tracked down to every gram of feed and the smallest physiological fluctuation. In the past, in many countries, mushroom farming meant leaving harvests at the mercy of weather and seasonal risks. In China, however, that narrative has been completely rewritten. Robots and automated systems now control every link in the chain, from humidity and temperature to each morning dewdrop, all the way to the final cut at harvest, together generating over USD 7 billion annually. Depending on farm scale and mushroom varieties, different harvesting methods are applied, but all are driven by the same goal: faster, more precise, and more uniform production. On small and medium-sized farms, manual harvesting still plays a crucial role. Workers gently twist the mushroom at its base to separate it from the growing medium, avoiding cracked caps or torn stems. The roots are neatly trimmed, and the mushrooms are placed directly into trays. This approach allows for precise maturity selection, preserves perfect form, and meets the standards of premium mushroom varieties. On large-scale farms, specialized harvesting machines operate as fully enclosed production lines. Blades cut cleanly at the base, mushrooms drop onto conveyor belts and pass through sensor systems that evaluate size, shape, and quality before automated packaging. At the highest level, robots take over the entire harvesting process. Mechanical arms lift mushrooms with millimeter-level precision, cut the roots, sort them on the spot, and operate 24/7, delivering massive output with near-perfect uniformity. As desertification spreads and water becomes a matter of survival, Chinese agriculture has been forced to rethink its choice of crops. Sunflowers, with their deep root systems and low water requirements, have emerged as a strategic crop in Inner Mongolia, Gansu, and Xinjiang, arid regions where many other plants struggle to survive. From late June to July, sunflower fields burst into bloom, painting vast stretches of northern and northwestern China in gold. But their true value only begins once the flowering season ends. By September to October, the flower heads droop, signaling that the seeds have accumulated sufficient oil and are ready for harvest. Specialized combine harvesters move into the fields, precisely separating the flower heads from the stalks, cleaning the seeds, and rapidly collecting them into storage bins. Thanks to integrated mechanization, harvesting is fast and efficient, with minimal loss. In China, sunflowers are more than a symbol of summer's golden landscape. They are a vital source of vegetable oil, playing a key role in securing agricultural stability in water-scarce regions. Chinese agriculture is not only defined by speed and scale, but also by products shaped through patience and precision. Honey peaches are a prime example. Although still cultivated using largely traditional methods, this delicate fruit generates $15 billion annually, proving that value does not come from volume, but from quality. Unlike common peach varieties that can be harvested using shaking machines or mass collection methods, honey peaches must be picked entirely by hand. The reason lies in the fruit's unique structure: exceptionally soft flesh, high water content, and thin, highly sensitive skin. Harvesting honey peaches is a refined manual process. Pickers do not twist or pull. Instead, they cradle the fruit in the palm of the hand, gently easing the stem until the peach naturally detaches from the branch. Each freshly picked fruit is placed immediately onto soft padding. A single drop or slight squeeze is enough to instantly destroy its value. In return, consumers are rewarded with a fruit that is delicately sweet, intensely juicy, and subtly aromatic, available for only a brief window of a few short weeks each summer. In China, spicy hot pot is more than just a dish. It is a ritual, and chilies are the fuel that powers its heat. Producing around 16 million tons of chilies each year, accounting for nearly 45% of global output, China does not merely consume spicy food, it shapes the world's map of heat. Few people see the harsh reality behind the chili industry. Manual harvesting, especially for extremely hot varieties, once caused burning eyes, respiratory irritation, low productivity, and heavy dependence on seasonal labor. That is why the world's largest chili-producing nation was ultimately forced to mechanize. In large-scale growing regions such as Xinjiang and Gansu, specialized chili harvesters operate like mobile production lines, cutting plants at the base, gathering them, separating the pods through vibration and vacuum suction, and transferring them directly into storage bins, without human hands ever touching the crop. As a result, productivity has surged, health risks have dropped sharply, and the final product achieves greater uniformity for processing and export. This is not simply faster harvesting. It is a strategic shift that has turned China into a dominant superpower in the global chili industry. When kiwi fruit is mentioned, the world often thinks of New Zealand. Yet on the global value map, China is the true center, accounting for over 50% of the world's production, equivalent to more than 2 million tons each year. Behind these figures lies a harvest season governed by extremely tight control. From March to June, kiwi orchards enter their most critical phase. Kiwi fruit is not harvested when fully ripe, but must be removed from the trellis at a precise biological threshold, while the fruit is still firm enough to withstand storage and long-distance transport. For premium kiwi varieties, everything still depends on human judgment. Farmers assess firmness, weight, and the condition of each individual fruit by hand, because a shift of just a few days in harvest timing can dramatically alter the value of an entire season. As kiwi cultivation expanded, manual harvesting quickly became a labor challenge. In large-scale commercial orchards, machinery was brought in to solve it. Sensor-equipped robotic arms move along the trellises, identify harvest-ready fruit, and cut the stems with split-second precision. Each kiwi is supported and placed directly into trays, enabling faster, more uniform harvesting while sharply reducing reliance on manual labor. In China, corn is more than a crop. It is the backbone of an entire agricultural ecosystem. From vast mechanized fields to the livestock and industrial chains behind them, every kernel carries the weight of food security, meat prices, and economic growth. In late autumn, cornfields across northeast and north China turn deep gold, signaling peak harvest season. Combine harvesters roll steadily along pre-planned rows, cutting, shelling, and separating kernels within seconds. Stalks and leaves are shredded and returned to the soil, while sensors and precision controls keep losses to a minimum. What once required weeks of labor is now completed in hours. A single machine can harvest dozens of tons per hour, unloading grain on the move into transport vehicles without stopping. This closed-loop process keeps kernels off the ground, reduces contamination, and ensures consistent quality for China's massive industrial feed sector. For the Chinese, coriander is the soul of thousands of dishes. Once a hand-grown culinary herb, coriander has now entered the era of industrial agriculture, generating over USD 5 billion annually through modern technology. On large-scale farms, coriander is harvested using specialized machines designed specifically for this low-growing, soft-stemmed crop. At the front of the machine, thin, sharp, fast-rotating blades cut cleanly at the base, preventing damage to the leaves. Once cut, suction systems or conveyor belts lift the coriander into collection bins, ensuring minimal loss and preventing contamination. Some advanced machines are also equipped with sensors that detect plant density and height, automatically adjusting cutting speed and height in real time. The entire harvesting process runs continuously and rapidly, preserving the herb's freshness and its signature aromatic oils, key factors that determine commercial quality and market value. This marks a major step forward in reducing labor demands and boosting overall output. Cantaloupe, the cousin of watermelon, yet richer in aroma and sweetness with its juicy orange flesh, is among the most valuable crops grown under the sun-drenched skies of California and Arizona. From June to September, when the melons take on their signature golden hue, the sweetest harvest season of the year officially begins. To preserve peak ripeness and natural flavor, many farms still rely on traditional hand-picking methods, selecting only the perfectly matured fruits and cutting them gently to avoid bruising the delicate rind. But on farms spanning hundreds of hectares, mobile conveyor harvesters have become the extended arms of human labor. Dozens of workers move along the rows, cutting the melons and placing them on a continuously moving conveyor belt, where color and size sensors instantly sort them right in the field. Thanks to these intelligent mechanical harvesters, farmers can now gather over 25 tons of cantaloupes per day, dramatically shortening harvest time, multiplying productivity, and satisfying the summer craving for sweetness across the US, Canada, and Japan. Say goodbye to the sunlit fields and step down into the cool, damp cellars of Belgium, where people grow vegetables without sunlight. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Yet, in that absolute darkness, pale ivory endive shoots quietly thrive, crisp and delicately bitter, harvested with meticulous care and precision in every slice. Today, in modern facilities, this delicate task is aided by the rotary disc cutter, an indispensable helper in the final stage of production. A large rotating disc divided into compartments holds each root horizontally in place. As the disc spins, every root passes a razor-sharp blade positioned exactly at the joint between the stem and the bud, slicing cleanly without harming the fragile young leaves above. The entire process runs continuously and precisely, with each rotation handling 4 to 6 roots. Once separated, the endive buds gently drop into a collection chute, then move onto a sorting conveyor, where workers remove any loose or misshapen heads, ensuring that only these masterpieces of darkness are allowed to step into the light. Each year, Belgium harvests over 110,000 tons of endive, accounting for the majority of Europe's production, cementing its status as the world's leading endive producer, where these ivory buds have become a true symbol of Belgian agricultural pride. October, in California's Central Valley, a fruit long seen as a symbol of prosperity, the pomegranate enters its peak harvest season. But unlike its mechanized cousins like oranges or apples, more than 90% of the world's pomegranates are still harvested by hand, because no machine has yet mastered the delicate touch needed to handle their fragile, thin skins. Each worker wields a pair of specialized pruning shears, cutting close to the stem and gently placing the fruit into a basket carried on their back. Twisting or pulling is strictly forbidden. Even the smallest tear can oxidize the glossy red rind, rendering the fruit unfit for export. Once the heavy baskets are filled, they are loaded onto trucks and transported to the processing facility, where each pomegranate is washed, polished, and graded by size before being packed for export. On large-scale farms, harvesting conveyors are now used to gently transfer the fruit from the picker's hands to collection bins, minimizing bruising and increasing efficiency by over 30%. This seamless collaboration between human hands and mechanical arms has helped California's farmers produce more than 250,000 tons of pomegranates each year, making the United States one of the world's leading suppliers of premium quality pomegranates. Around the same time, in the land of the rising sun, the persimmon harvest season bursts into color, painting the hillsides in brilliant shades of orange and red. Depending on the variety and intended use, harvesting methods differ. For crisp persimmons with thicker skins, farmers use long poles to gently shake the branches, letting the fruits fall softly onto mats laid beneath, without a single bruise. But for soft varieties with skins as delicate as silk, where even a touch can leave a mark, pickers must climb ladders, carefully snip each fruit with specialized shears, and place them gently into foam-lined baskets to preserve their flawless appearance. On old trees towering 6 to 7 meters high, the task becomes even more challenging. Each precise cut must be made with absolute care to avoid damaging the fruit. After harvesting, the persimmons are divided into two main types: crisp persimmons sold fresh, and astringent ones destined to become hoshigaki. Japan's famous dried persimmons, hung for weeks in the autumn air until the skin wrinkles and the flesh turns honey sweet. From these fiery orchards of autumn, Japan produces over 200,000 tons of persimmons each year, turning this fragile fruit into a symbol of patience, craftsmanship, and pride in Japanese agriculture.